All right. I'm assuming it's recording. I don't see the red dot anymore. Oh, there it is. Okay. So thanks everyone for joining. It is checking the date, the May 29th iteration of the MicroProfile live Hangout. And thanks everyone for joining. And as usual, it is everyone's responsibility to jointly take notes. The chat link is, or sorry, the link to the notes is in the chat. All right. So I guess let's get started with MicroProfile 1.4. Yes.
John? Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like we have someone new. So maybe we should quickly go through introductions. At least I don't recognize the name, Alexander Keeling.
Hi everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I don't think my camera is working, but my name is Alexander Keeling. I work for...
No, you broke up.
Yeah, for...
Yeah, but the anticipation is killing me.
Pure suspense.
Alexander, you want to try that again? Say who you work for, if you're still there.
Red Hat. I work in the Fuse, and is to follow discussions and help with in any way I can, documentation and specification also. But yeah, that's just follow the discussions and see what I can do to help.
Okay.
Welcome.
So I'm going to put down Red Hat in parentheses there. Okay. Yes, welcome. Thanks for joining the call. Let's get started with the 1.4 release. So, open tracing. Does anyone want to cover the current status of open tracing 1.1?
Well, my understanding is that this got released quite some time ago already, so it should be good to be included.
Do we know if there are any new dependencies?
No, we covered that one already. Pavel already did the QC, got it all approved, spreadsheets updated. It's all good.
Okay, I remember seeing the release candidate releases. Is there actually a final release out?
Yep.
All right. Use done. Anyone from REST client? 1.1.
Yeah, Andy released that a week ago, I think.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know about the CQs.
Yeah, I did ask on the thread in the on the announcement thread as people were announcing their releases. I did kind of try and go back and say, hey, are the CQs done? So let's see if there's a response to that maybe by the end of the day, and if not, then we'll have to do that. I'll have to follow up with Andy.
Okay.
Use TBD. All right. Config 1.3. Anyone from config?
Yeah, I know Emily's on vacation. She did finish up 1.3.
Yep.
But I don't know about the CQ.
Yep. We didn't push it yet, so it's not publicly available. It's just on the staging repository still, as far as I know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought I saw her push out. Was it fault tolerance or was it? Because again, I was going through the chat this morning. Okay, in staging, CQs. Actually, I'm going to do the CQ status. TBD. Okay, we'll have to follow up with. Do we know when Emily's coming back, or do we know when this is going to get pushed and who's going to push it?
I'm not quite sure if I'm able to push it.
Do you have access to the repo, to the
it's Andrew and I and Emily had, so, but I would have to take a look if I'm also able to push this technically.
Can anyone who has access to the repo? I think they can push it.
I think they can.
Yeah. Okay. I can check if generally
And
Mark?
is there any reason why it shouldn't be pushed? In other words, it's in staging. Is that just because she was on vacation, or is there a specific reason why it's not pushed yet?
No.
Well, we usually put it on staging and then test against this. Put a repo in a Maven POM, test against it, and only when the tests are done, we release it for our side. So I'm not sure if this was intended, and that's the reason why it's still there.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the normal process with the release build. Is the final push out to Maven isn't done.
Yes, we need. Probably I've missed this, but I think we're lacking of a procedure and a common process for doing releases a little bit. Should clarify this and work on this a little bit.
That is very true, Mark.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to prematurely push it. That's my only concern.
So
I see an FT parent 11 RC8 from May 25th.
there's also
RC6, RC8 in the staging repo. RC4, but not anything that looks like final or GA.
So you were talking about fault tolerance?
Yes.
Or fault tolerance is referring to a specific config release? Sorry, I just want to make sure I understand.
No, the description, it says org Eclipse MicroProfile fault tolerance parent 1.1-RC8, and this is the latest that I see with a date of May 25th.
Okay.
That is staging.
This whole release candidate really of pushing doesn't make that much sense in my opinion, because usually you do a release, you try a release, and if you say, oh, this is just for trying out, okay, then you do a release candidate and you throw it away. And afterwards, when you get proper feedback, you do a new release technically, because you have to sign these things. You cannot just rename a library, because the Maven information is all inside the jar. If you change it, then the SHA-1 gets changed, etc. So you kind of have to do the proper release, push it to the staging, then it gets tested, and then you can kind of propagate the staging repository to the proper Maven Central without changing any version.
Well, actually, it looks like this final one may even be pushed and the others are just not yet deleted. Let me look at the central.
So we definitely need to work on this whole release stuff.
Okay, well, while Heiko looks that up, Scott, you want to give a 1.1 status? I saw that you guys are still trying to finish up an item.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we keep going around on this support for configuration of the issuer claim for this release. I mean, we've done a 1.1 RC1 that had it one way. Then I thought we had an agreement as a workaround to provide support for it, which we did an RC2 on. But now I'm getting feedback from Tommy Tribe that that's not, well, that may not be what they want to do. So I've got a question now to see if we want to roll it back. So I mean, basically, we're going one way or another. You know, as of Friday, we'll just push out the final release based on what decision we come up with. But unfortunately, we're not getting very much feedback from. There's just basically 3 people working on that spec right now. I mean, 3 implementers. Well, we're going to do it Friday one way, and it's going to be one thing or another.
Okay. Push by Friday. And I think you've already done the CQs, right?
Yeah.
So,
which actually, frankly, is now virtually irrelevant because I've actually pulled out that module, so there's no artifact being generated based on that sandbox module anymore. So,
right? No,
changed.
Sorry. So I thought there were
So-
some things relative to even without the sandbox. I thought there were some updates. I could be wrong, actually.
I didn't think so. I didn't think that was true. So if that's true, then he'd have to call that out because that shouldn't be true.
When I look at
really, yeah, when you
Mhm.
look at what?
Well, so now these already are already there. But when I was looking and I tried to do a visual diff, I saw there was ASCII Doctor plugins in the spec document that weren't there before.
Oh, really? I thought we always had that.
Maybe, like I said, it was a visual check, so I could be wrong.
Should be there already, unless the version got updated.
Yeah, the version might be updated. 1.5.5 is what I have right now. Jax.
Okay.
Jax RS, there's a 2.0 CQ, and now we're doing 2.0.1. Shrink wrap. Resolver and resolver depth chain. I have 2.2.6. And then in the API POM, there's a biz.acute.bind and BND, I'm guessing is bind, and then bind Maven plugin 3.4.
Yeah, that's an OSGI thing. That all those should have already certainly been in the previous release. So I mean, I'll go through these again. So, but I mean, is the concern not the artifact, but the actual version?
Yeah, we have to track both. The artifact, and then if there's an update to the version, yeah. I think if it's like a .01, like we have in a couple of cases, I think we still have to list it, but there's not much, I think, that's gonna cause any concern.
You mean like just with a minor update?
In fact, it's more like a bug fix update, right? It's like 2.0.1 from 2.0.0.
Oh, yeah.
So we still have to we still have to track that though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's probably no new IP, no new license change, no license change and those kind of things we have to worry about. So what I'll do is I'll in fact, maybe I could paste it. I have no idea how this is going to format. I'll paste this in the maybe I'll do it in the notes.
Yeah, just put it in the notes. I'll,
Oh, that did not format well. I think I'll try this one more. Sorry, I'm going to try and push this up. Didn't format the best. And I'll reformat this so it's more legible after the meeting. I don't want to waste time here.
Okay.
Again, this is a visual diff on my part, so it could be may have to iterate on this one or two times. All right. So sorry. So it looks like we're going to be okay there. Let's go back to Heiko.
Yes, so I found both fault tolerance 1.1 and config 1.3 on Central. So I would say they are released
final releases. Okay.
Central. Yes.
Released. There was much rejoicing. Yay. Sorry, that's a Monty Python thing I always quote. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. So Kevin, what I'll do is I'll probably come back around to you offline and chat a little bit about, some follow-up steps we'll have to do to kind of tie this up in a bow.
Yep.
Any other questions on 1.4? All right. MicroProfile 2. Kevin, you want to take it away?
Yeah, they're not much because everything that you're covering here for 1.4 goes into 2.0. And I've got other topics that I want to talk about related to the 1.4.2.0 stuff, but they're coming up.
All right, so I'll just put down in the notes, no update or nothing new. Any other comments on MicroProfile 2? Okay. Kevin, I think the branching was your item.
Yep.
You want to take that away? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I posted out to the Google group asking about what's the preference for branching, because we can't do both 1.4 updates and 2.0 updates to the spec at the same time. So should we branch now and call it 1.x, and then we'll do the 1.4 update off of that, and then 2.0 off of master? Or do we complete 1.4 first, then cut the branch, and then change master to 2.0? I'm wondering if I've gotten a couple of responses out there that seem to indicate let's go with option 1, but thought that we should bring it up here.
No, I think one thing that we talked about, sorry for my aging memory here, but we talked about it is possible, I think, for 1.4 to evolve. If we need to have clarifications under 1.4, we could still do that, right? So does that impact the branching discussion at all? If 1.4 evolves a little bit simultaneously with 2.0?
I don't think so.
Okay. I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, the only thing is that if we introduce backward compatible or incompatible changes, so if we add something in 2.0 or 2.1, some feature, and we kind of want to backport without using Java E8 features in, let's say, 1.4.1, and have this not backward compatible. Do we want this, or do we want to avoid this?
So,
got what I mean? So you have a new feature for 2.0, and you make use in the API of Java E8 features.
Right.
And you want to kind of backport and make this available to the 1.4 stream as well, the E7 stream. But of course, then you have to implement this in a different way. Or say, let's say, if we hit this, then let's discuss this when we hit this.
Right. So we could definitely do what you said there. Wait until the situation arises. But just to clarify your statement, so if there was a feature that you wanted to backport from 2.0 to 1.x, but we're not bringing in new dependencies, so it would be re-implemented or implemented differently in order just to backport the functionality, but not change the dependencies on Java EE7. Then I think that's an okay thing. It would be up to the component to decide whether or not they want to do that.
Yes, but the impact is that you can't easily update from 1.4.1 then to 2.1, for example, because 1.4.1 and the 2.0 stream kind of diverged in that case. So I think we should kind of stop if we hit this situation and think about it really hard whether we want this whenever this pops up.
Doesn't that just come down to something we've discussed before in terms of we leave it up to the individual subspecs as to whether they maintain multiple development streams? Right. So if they want to maintain something that's compatible with 1.x of MicroProfile and something that's compatible with 2.x, then that's up to them, because it's essentially just more work for them to do that.
It's also fine for me, since we also defined in the very early days that we are not a standards body and we can break backward compatibility if you want. We should not do it that often, but it's okay-ish. So it's also fine.
Yeah, I mean, my only question, I didn't mean to sidetrack the conversation at all, and I hope I haven't, but it was only in the context of, does this idea of 1.4 continuing to evolve impact how we branch? That was the only intent of my question.
And, regardless, you can always cut a branch at whatever point you want to. Because we're trying to do 2 releases here with 1.4 and 2.0, we're going to need 2 branches. And then, if down the road we decide that we're going to do a 1.5 umbrella release, I mean, we could cut a branch at any particular point in time and say, okay, now here's our 1.5 branch.
I mean, actually, I do not expect too much to come after 1.4 on the 1.x stream. So branching now and then creating 1.4 off of that branch and have master for 2.0 and then later 3.0 or whatever sounds good to me.
What benefits do we get if we branch now? Because basically, if we cut 1.4.0, you can use, I mean, I'm using MicroProfile 1 something on the Java EE 8 servers. So it's kind of compatible in this direction. So it would only make sense to do this if we want to introduce something which is where we leverage new features. But if we say the functionality of kind of 1.4.0 and 2.0 is on our side is the same. We just update the CDI specification and the JSON-B and whatever. So the EE8 parts, EE7 to EE8, then we don't add anything by branching now. There is no benefit.
But we are adding a new dependency with JSON-B.
Yes, but people can add this dependency already. I mean, people are using this dependency already on Java 8 servers. So it doesn't change the way MicroProfile works. It would only make a difference if we make use of JSON-B actively. But this would only be if we have a kind of new subspec which make use of those new features. Apart from that, it effectively doesn't change anything.
Yep. So this was all part of the conversation that we had with breaking changes and the versioning discussion that we had, and we decided that the 2.0 was going to follow the current definition. So even though those updates to the specs wouldn't affect the underlying applications, it was a, I don't know what term did we come up with. I don't know if it was a marketing version or a marketing release, but we decided to increase that just to indicate the new version of Java EE 8 to differentiate it from the 1.x.
But 2.0 can only be released after 1.4.0 is released, right? And it's a matter of just
no.
Well,
we have to get the content for 1.4 done before that.
Well,
So,
we're defining it as simultaneous, right? I mean, which technically is, milliseconds after 1.4, 2.0 is released, right? I mean, but they current, the plan is to kind of do it simultaneously. So, but I understand where you're coming from, Mark. It's technically a 1.4 kind of does have to be released in order for 2.0, but it's essentially the same time is how we look at it.
Yes, it's just bumping the requirements. That's it.
Yep.
The minimal requirements.
Yep.
So
that's it.
So branching now would just mean additional work. I'm reluctant to do that. But as long as I'm not going to do the work.
Well, I guess I'm, what would be the extra work? I mean, yes, we have to create the branch, but.
And if you do changes, so what is the change actually in the umbrella spec? It means just adding references, adding documentation, changing links to sub-specifications and so on. And if you do the branch now, you kind of have to do those changes in both branches then. That's it.
Well, but the 1.x branch actually doesn't have to get, well, okay. Yes, we have to make main changes for the MicroProfile component specs. You're right.
Exactly. Yep. And the only thing which is kind of additional in the 2.0 is bumping the minimum requirement versions for various Java enterprise specs like CDI, JSON-B, JSON-P, whatever.
Yep.
And JSON-B.
Is the solution then just to do the 1x branch once all the subcomponent spec releases have been updated in what is the master branch?
Well, that's where, we're getting pretty close to that, yes.
So, and if this is done, if the subspecs are ready, and can be referenced in the 1.4 umbrella spec, well, then 1.4 is kind of finished. Right, because updating the umbrella spec is not a huge work. Getting the word out and getting the subspecs done is the amount of work, which is massive.
Yep.
So it looks like I think functionally, JWT is the last spec I think that needs to be released. But non-functionally, we still need to get the CQs done. I don't know if having the CQs matters in terms of when we do the branch. So I don't think that's
think it does.
Yeah, that's not a requirement. So that means if we were to do this, we would do it Friday at the earliest, based on Scott's prior comment. So it sounds like we're going to wait for 1.4? Is that what we're saying then?
Well, kind of. I think what we would do is get the master branch updated with the common stuff. And so we would wait until JWT is ready, and we'd have that all updated, and then we could cut that. Well, shoot, I'd still call the 1.x though, because technically it's not a 1.4 yet, because we haven't released it. Well, we can figure out that detail, I guess.
It's
okay.
I think maintenance 1.x is a good branch name, because essentially 1.x is Java E7 based and 2.x is E8 based.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
So I agree with Kevin. Let's just update the subspecs, or the umbrella spec, bump the subspecs and get the wording updated and so on. And then we can cut the branch for 1x, where we release 1.4 from, and update master to reference to Java E8. So bump the specs as well.
Okay. Any disagreement from anybody else on the call? Okay, we'll go with that. Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Okay.
The next item is repo cleanup, which I think is also you, Kevin.
Yes, it is. So some of you may have been noticing I've been asking for some reviews. I picked a few different people. I'm just looking for one person to actually take a look. But this is part of that work to move the stuff from MicroProfile BOM over to the MicroProfile component, so that we are in preparation for the for these releases that we're trying to do. So anybody who's interested, if you could take a look and give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it for those two pull requests. The next item, I'm kind of wondering, what do we do with the GitHub release?
Hey, Kevin, sorry to interrupt. Can we get, is there anyone online here that can kind of verbally commit to going and reviewing those? Going once?
John,
going twice?
I asked you to do it. You could do it.
I could do it. Dang it.
Yeah. I'll take a look at it.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, John. I should have done that too.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay.
I'm going to take notes here.
Okay, so then the other thing I'm wondering about then is, what do I do with the GitHub releases that we already have defined for the other MicroProfile? Do we just leave them under MicroProfile BOM and we kind of make a pointer back to say, hey, look there, or do I somehow move them? I'm not sure. Any input from people with more experience?
I'll have to look at what you're talking about. So when you create a GitHub release under what, the new one?
Yeah. So actually, the two items right there in the in our minutes. Okay, so the MicroProfile BOM is where we did all the other releases. So MicroProfile 1011, 12, 13. Well, now with 14 and 20, we're going to be doing them out of this other repo. So what
I would just add in the new release a link back to the old one saying any previous releases are under there.
Okay, so like, should I
in the description?
Yeah, well, in the description, or should I make a dummy entry in a release? Because I could create a release and then just in the description point it. Should I do something like that?
Both?
No, I would just for this, for the new release, I would in the description say if any previous releases are under this project. I wouldn't, well, I mean, if you want to go through all that effort, you can, but I wouldn't.
Okay. And then then we could just kind of continue that aspect of the description in any subsequent releases as well. Okay. Is that pretty consistent? Any other ideas or input?
Well, and I mean, if people complain, you can always go and do what you said first. You just create a dummy release for every, mapping. Okay, release 1.1.3 is here. Just provide a link back to the other one.
Yep. Do the minimum effort first and see if anybody needs anything else. That's probably good. Okay. Thanks.
All right. So at the moment, we don't have anything else in the backlog. So I was hoping to join the Service Mesh and Reactive Hangouts. It looks like Service Mesh I tried to join this morning didn't have a meeting. Yeah, since Emily was gone. So James, I think you have one later on today in about 2.5 hours. Yeah, so
an agenda after this.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hope to be able to join that one. And those are being recorded as well? Do you know?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I hope to join that one as well. Does anyone have anything else?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep. Hey, Cesar.
Hi. Quick question. Hi, guys. Quick question. In the last bullet for repo cleanup, are those links going to, will they no longer be valid? Because I think we use some of those links from the MicroProfile, presentations like 1.3.
They still will be valid.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very good.
So maybe one quick question, since Cesar, normally we do a marketing update. So maybe Cesar, what kind of plans do you have around a 1.4/2.0 kind of release around MicroProfile? Are there any marketing plans around that?
Right. So we had a call yesterday. I know it was a holiday, but not everyone in the world celebrates Memorial Day. So I ended up and joined, and it was 3 of us: Stephanie and Ryan from Tommy Tribe. He's in Czech Republic, and Stephanie's in Canada. So let's see, just quick update. Let me bring this up. So I don't know if you were aware that some of the functionality in the microprofile.io site is going to move over to WordPress. So that's Ryan is working on that, and he said he was almost done with it. As soon as he's done, he's going to send out the updated links for us to review. And once finished as well, he's going to set up like a training session. On what he updated, what components are now WordPress, and how to update them. I believe one of them is going to be a blog. So I know Kevin, I know you've been pushing out blogs, so you may want to attend. That invitation will probably go out to the whole community anyway, but just keep an eye on that. You may be interested in learning how to do that. What else? Ryan also updated the data sheet. So we removed the Smart Bear logo, and we added Lightbend in Microsoft to the data sheet. So that's been updated and is uploaded to the marketing site. If you want to use it, just go there. It's under content data sheet. And Lars is writing the white paper. So he went ahead and updated the dates of the deliverables, what he's expecting to deliver and when. So we should have a first draft by June 18th for the community to review. It was a short call because it was just the three of us. So that's what we covered yesterday. So coming back to 1.4 and 2.0, yes, definitely we should have at least an announcement. When is 1.4 coming out again?
We're targeting June 6th.
Okay, so that's too far away from EclipseCon France. And 2.0 is going to come out the same day, or?
Yeah.
Pretty darn close. Yep.
Okay. So June 6th, right? 1.4.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So
Don't hold us to it.
No problem. So which means, yeah. So I'll go ahead and start writing an announced post, and I can have you guys review it if you don't mind.
Oh,
make sure
awesome.
just get everything, and it'll be like I don't know, a few paragraphs like the past announcements, and June 6th. So 1.4 and 2.0 are coming both on June 6th.
Correct.
Right. So that means I gotta put together two blocks. Okay. And the main difference is going to be that one is for Java 8, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me start working on those then. Let me assign myself what you just put in here.
Yeah, in the Google, I mean, if for some reason we slip, it'll be in the Google groups. And if it's a slip, it'll be by 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
hopefully there won't be a slip.
Okay. Just in case, let me just paste the link for the data sheet, so just in case you guys don't know where it is. There we go. Link. Copy. And chat. There we go. So that actually has the Adobe Illustrator file and the actual data sheet. Actually, I think it's under May 29th. Yeah. You need to go to the update May 29th directory in there.
Yeah, because this one seems to have old data in it.
Yeah, go to, there's a directory there called update May 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, go to that one.
I can get shareable link, and I will.
Yeah, actually, get shareable. There you go.
Where is it at? Updated sheet. I will paste this in here. Ah.
There.
That didn't work.
The folder no longer exists.
What?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
looking at it.
Oh, they kicked me out too.
I wonder if Ryan is messing with it right now.
Could be.
I know. I got in.
Okay, I just got in again.
What about the one that I just pasted? Yeah.
So, I
Oh,
didn't really
the folder's
follow.
gone.
Yeah.
The update May 29th folder is on?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you're right. He's editing, so that's all right.
Yeah, but
I don't know
it's
if
going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I still see the folder.
So with Microsoft, as I see the logo here,
Yes.
I didn't follow the Google group too closely recently, especially as I was on PTO. Do they actually do anything here, or just show their logo?
So right now, Microsoft is working on, I guess they're analyzing, how many resources, what they're going to be, or how and how much, and as far as resources and I guess money too, they're going to be dedicating to MicroProfile and Jakarta EE. So
Yeah,
that's in
I
the
see
works
it.
right now.
I was to say I see it kind of as they're trying to determine how they can best add value, right? It's they could show up and be here, but I think they want to be active participants, and so they're just analyzing how they can best add value to what we're doing. So they seem to be pretty committed to it.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they seem to be most interested in how MicroProfile is useful with Azure. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I would be interested in. Yeah, if I were them. Yeah, definitely. And Java in general, right? So they're trying to just get Java workloads in general, and in the context of MicroProfile, yeah, Azure. All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to add? All right. Thanks everyone for joining. We did kind of get into a little bit more detail in some areas that we normally do, but that's just simply because we're trying to close up a release here. So thanks for everyone's patience. We'll be back in.
Yeah, I have one question. Since we have so many people on from Red Hat, yeah. So what's Mike Croft going to do with you guys now?
From my understanding, he's in the consulting organization. So yeah, he just kind of popped up one day, and it's like awesome, right? So he's in the consulting organization. Obviously, I think he'll still be, somewhat involved in MicroProfile. I don't know if it'll be direct or tangential by the nature of consulting. So I think we'll figure out as we go.
Okay. No, just curious whether or not he'd still participate in these calls once in a while and just change his title.
Yeah, good question. I would actually say that's up to him. I hope he does. But we'll just see where the job takes him, right? Because there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Same bat time, same bat channel. 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Good evening. Ciao.